Albert Einstein once said, organized people are just too lazy to go looking for what they want. Hey y'all, I'm the Southern Ma'am, but all my friends call me Tasoma. Last time in the land of Terremydia, we did a lot of digging and carved out space for our permanent base in the hillside. Now it's time to work on the interior of our base, and for me, the most important part of that is the storage. Whether we're talking about Minecraft or even in real life, I like to have everything organized in neat and tidy boxes and shelves so that I can find what I need at a moment's notice. I don't want to waste time and energy searching for my supplies when I could be actually using them. We're going to employ our new little friends to create a sorting system that wraps around the entire perimeter of our base and uses copper golem power. Our base build is definitely a work in progress, so we'll be continuing this goal probably for quite some time. In order to continue construction, we'll need to gather more resources, both above and below ground. Finally, our main goal today is to create that copper golem powered sorting system. Our well is coming in handy with lava to fuel our smelting of cobblestone into stone to use as walls in our base. I want to make the floors and pathways out of mud, so I'm harvesting wheat as soon as it ripens. It never gets old to me to watch this water collection system carry the seeds and wheat right down to our copper golems ready to sort. I planted a little tree farm here on the edge of the savannah where I'm growing cherry, spruce, and dark oak, as I think these three wood types are going to be the primary ones in our base. Of course, I wasn't recording when this pillager patrol started stalking me while I did those chores, but I did manage to take a screenshot. According to the Minecraft wiki, pillager patrols spawn in groups of 1 to 5 on Java Edition. However, as you can see in the screenshot, there are not 4 or 5, but 12 pillagers in this patrol, which was pretty frightening to me in my copper armor, so I definitely chose a tactical retreat. We'll need hoppers for our sorting system, so I decided to take a break from tree chopping to head down for some iron mining. When digging out the interior of the base, I discovered that my original spiral staircase down to the caves was right in the way, so I ended up covering it over in the process. I decided to just dig straight down, carefully of course, and create a ladder access to those caves. Yes, I have already died to this ladder. I really need to put water at the bottom. However, I do prefer it to the spiral staircase that honestly was making me a little bit dizzy to use. I've been caving and lighting up this giant cave. You can see I still have a long ways to go. This cave seems to go on forever. But I just noticed a few minutes ago that that's cobblestone over there. I even put a torch on it and didn't recognize it. And you can look behind that waterfall. Look, there's a chest. It's a spawner room. So let's very carefully try to get in this room without dying, and there we go. Whew. Get that spawner. It's a spider spawner. Okay. Let's check out the loot. Oh, enchanted apple. Oh, and a book. Okay, let's see what we got. Depth strider. Okay, okay, and lots of gunpowder. Let's take all of that. Nice. Let's see what the other one has. A disc. We have the cat disc. All right, and lots more stringy gunpowder and bread. Nice. It's always cool to find one of these spawner rooms and get some free loot. And we'll save this spawner. I don't usually destroy these, just in case we decide we want to use them in the future. There's an Enderman down there, but look, there's diamonds. Oh, I can't look at him. I'm trying to make sure I don't accidentally look at him. But we found diamonds down there if we can get around all these mobs. Okay, I think we've lit most of this cave up, at least to the lava there. I haven't gone past that lava. But look what we found as we were lighting the cave up. We found diamonds. So now that we are mob free, we can dig these up. Oh, it's 6. Let's go. 7. Nice. And I believe I saw some more around the corner here. Where? Oh, there they are. Put a torch right by them. There's another little pocket of diamonds. Let's see if it's more than one. Oh, nope, just one. Oh, and it leads to a water cave. Okay. 8 diamonds. Let's go. Oh, there's more. You got to look up. I'm short and I never look up. But we have to remember to look up around here in this cave. There we go. All right, I'm going to continue mining. I know I saw some gold and iron and redstone. We're going to keep caving and keep gathering those resources. Ooh, diamonds on both sides. I reached the end of this cave system and I still hear bats and mob sounds. So I'm trying to tunnel through the walls toward those sounds, hoping to come out into another cave. It looks like I found it, and I'd love to get a torch or two up there, but the mobs keep on coming. Oh, she didn't drop it. Oh, okay, okay. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Ah, I didn't realize my shield was so low. Well, at least I remember where I was. Okay, let's try to spam some torches in this new cave. Oh, a baby. No, we're not a baby. Oh, that was close. Okay, torches, take 2. Let's see if that baby's still... Yep, the baby's still here. No, don't kill me! Don't kill me! Ah! With my own shovel. Good riddance. Okay, does anyone else think there's way too many creepers over there? Oh my goodness. And witch and spiders. After a lot more mob fighting and ore mining, I've managed to light up a large portion of this cave. but I'm still hearing mob sounds. So I'm back to digging through the walls, trying to find another cave branch. Oh, nice! We have come directly out at the ground level of a spawner room. I can't quite see the spawner yet, but by the looks of all these legs, it's probably a zombie spawner. So let's clear this out and see if we can get to that spawner. Let's get a torch on that zombie spawner so we can get safely into the room. Only one chest this time, but look, 2 suits of horse armor and all these other little bits and bobs. We will take the free stuff. All right, we've made it back from our caving trip and we have a chest full of resources. Look at all these resources. We have stacks of iron and copper and gold and even a stack. Let's see. Yep, a stack and a few of diamonds. So I'm going to take a few trips to haul all this back upstairs to our base. These 4 double chests are all the resources we've gathered lately since our last episode. This is from caving, all the ores and all the stone that we gathered on our cave expedition. And then I've also been cutting down trees, smelting cobblestone into stone, and even making some packed mud. Now, our copper golem is a little bit overworked. He still has a whole chest of items to sort, but he keeps getting stuck. We have more than 10 chests here, so after he looks through 10 chests, he gets very confused when he can't find the correct one and just kind of stands here waiting for help. So let's take those flowers and put them where they belong and let him try again to find the next item. It's time to set up a proper storage system and give this little fella some help. I want to make a copper golem sorting system that goes around the whole perimeter of our base. That way we can have multiple copper golems sorting out items and put the items in a room that makes sense. For example, the kitchen will have all of the food and the enchanting room will have all of the books. First things first. Well, after getting rid of this dirt block from an Enderman, I want to fill in these walls with stone where we have our cherry planks laid out. That will get us a better sense of the space in this area. Then we can deal with creating the copper golem sorting system all around the perimeter. So let's get to placing some blocks. Seeing the space with these walls put in is really helping me envision what it will look like in the future. Now, of course, we still have to put in the floor and the ceiling, and we need to decorate. We're not going to leave it just plain stone. I'm envisioning this to look like a great hall in a castle. And even though we're underground, I'd like to put in some fake windows, maybe stained glass looking, maybe some columns here with timbers that support the weight of the earth above. So I'm going to do a little sketching and playing around with ideas for this space soon. However, first I'd like to work on this copper golem sorting system. We're going to have a chest over on this side, I think. where when we put any of our items in a chest, the copper golems on the other side will sort them all the way around the perimeter, and then any leftover bits that are unsorted will pop out in a chest on this side. Designing a storage system is one of my favorite tasks in Minecraft. I can't stand to throw anything away or let anything despawn. I have to collect it all, which means a lot of inventory sorting later. That reminds me of the Bible verses about the Proverbs 31 woman. She seeks wool and flax and works eagerly with her hands. She makes linen garments and sells them. She plants a vineyard. She gives to the poor. Verse 27 says, she looks well to the ways of her household and doesn't eat the bread of idleness. While we may not describe our modern day tasks with the exact same wordings, I think we can see the similarities in how we still should work diligently to provide for the needs of those around us. I think that managing my household belongings and finances well is what makes it possible to have a little extra to give to the needy and to have a few supplies stocked up for leaner times. Whether I'm arranging my actual kitchen pantry or my Minecraft storage room, it reminds me to take special care of what I do have, however much or however little, and keep working earnestly to care for my household. Now that we have our floor laid out around the perimeter, it's time to make the first module of our copper golem sorting system. You can see in my inventory here all the items that we need for one section. The first thing we're going to do is just lay out a little too wide platform here to put our chests on. Now, a copper golem can sort up to 10 double chests. I like to use 8 and then 1 extra for an overflow to pass the items on to the next section. So we've got 8 here, or 4, and then we'll stack up another layer to make 8. Like so. And then we're gonna have 1 extra here at the top, and that is gonna be our overflow chest for items that don't go in these 8 chests. Next, we're going to hook this chest up to a copper chest. So I'm going to put 2 spaces here, put the copper chest, and I'm actually going to put a copper block here. This will become a double chest once we add a jack-o'-lantern on top and turn this into the actual copper golem. So we're going to save that. We don't want them running around right now while we're building. So this will be my marker place for building a copper golem. And then we just need 2 hoppers to lead into that chest. And there you have it. And then finally, we want the copper golem to stay in this section. So I'm going to add a little fence right here. So he will have to stay on this side and sort these chests. Now the copper golem needs a chest to grab items from. So we're going to put that over here. I think right about here. Let's do it this way. Actually, I want to put it in from the other side. So let's go around. That way it'll open just aesthetically. So it'll open from this side. There you go. And of course, we're going to have to make stairs here so that the chest can open. Now, when we enter our base, we will be able to walk over here and dump any of the items from our inventory into this chest. Then the copper golem on the other side will collect those items from that copper chest, sort them into these, and anything that doesn't sort will pass through this overflow chest into the next copper chest, and we'll make a copper golem over here. These modules will continue all the way around the entire perimeter of our base. Our next module is going to go around the corner. So I'm going to start again with our platform. There we go. And then we're going to place our double chests. I want the double chests to be around the corner here. So I'm going to put them right here, 2 on this side, and then 2 on this side. And that way from the front, we'll be able to access all 4 of those, or all 8 after we put this second layer on here. Okay. There we go. And then, of course, our overflow chest, our copper chest. Oh, it looks like I need one more platform here. There we go. And again, we'll be making a copper golem out of this one and then 2 hoppers. There we go. Next module completed. Finally, we're going to make the last module in this room. Now, I want it to look symmetrical to this one. So you see we have one space from the wall and then we start our chest. So I'm going to kind of start this one backward. Of course, first I have to build the platform. Okay, and then we're going to make our chest starting 1 block from the wall for the ones that are going to be used for sorting. So here's our first one. And then the top row. Thank you. Right. And then our overflow chest then has to go right here. And copper chest, 2 blocks away. And 2 hoppers. There we go. So now we have our next module of 8 chests to sort. If you look at the chests from the front of the room, you can see we have 3 banks of 8 chests. We could have squished them a little closer together, but I wanted to spread them out to be symmetrical around the perimeter. There will be 3 copper golems, 1 sorting each bank of 8 chests, and then a 4th copper golem will take the overflow and carry it to the next room for more sorting all the way around the base. Of course, this is just the functional part of the sorting system. We need to add some stairs above it, some decorations, some labeling so we'll know what's in all of our chests. So there's still a lot more work to be had in here before we can put in the copper golems and actually start sorting. Then we have to repeat this process for all 3 rooms, as well as putting a couple modules in here to connect the sides of the base. Check out all the progress on our copper golem sorting system. We have chests lined up and connected all the way around the room. So we began with this module over here, and this will be our input chest where we can drop off our items from our inventory into this chest. And the copper golems will begin sorting and sort all the way around, where finally we have an overflow chest on this side. Anything that could not be sorted in the entire base will end up right here for us to manually deal with. All of the rooms look like this, with 3 banks of 8 chests for 24 double chests total in the room. Items will be sorted into the first 8, and anything overflow will go into that top 9th chest and through the hoppers into the copper chest of the next module, and that will continue all the way around. When we get to the end of the room, there won't be any sorting chests in these modules between rooms. There will just be a copper golem taking the items from this copper chest to this regular chest, which will flow into the next copper chest and connect up our rooms. So then, as you can see, we have the same setup in the other room, and that continues around the perimeter of the base. We do have a sorting area in the back here. That's a pretty long area, so we were able to fit 3 modules straight through in the back, and then they just continue around to each of the rooms, making storage in every room of the base. Finally, the last one here is our outflow chest where we can pick up any unsorted items. We still have a lot more work to do to make a functioning sorting system. For one thing, we need to make the copper golems. The way you do that is with a carved pumpkin on top of a copper block. And the carved pumpkin area will become the copper golem and the bottom will become its chest. And of course, with ours here, that will connect to this chest and make a double chest. So all we need to do is carve this pumpkin to create the copper golem. I'm not going to do that yet because he will just wander away and check any chest he wants rather than the one that we necessarily have assigned to him. I need to put in a few more fence posts to separate these modules, and we'll do that once we have everything ready to go. At this point, the copper golem could also choose to go this way, and who knows where he'll end up then. So we also need to enclose the front of this sorting system so that no one can come out into the rooms. I also want to set up shelves to show what items are in each of the chests. So we need labels and we still need a floor. So we have a lot more work to do, but the basic functional bits of the sorting system are in place. We have made a lot of progress in this episode. First, we spent a lot of time gathering resources so that we would have the materials to create our copper golem sorting system. It's at least functionally finished. We still need to put all the sorting items in as well as all the decoration, but it's getting there. We'll keep chipping away at designing the interior of our base as well as finishing these rooms so that we can bring those copper golems to life and get them to work. Right now, I need to go play in the mud so that we can get these floors finished. It's a wonder I'm still alive. I have no armor on and I was turned around the opposite way from this doing a monologue for the video. And when I went back to the first person camera, I saw not one, but two Endermen in my base. I can't believe I didn't accidentally look at them when I was monologuing. Well, what did you think? I hope this video has inspired you to get organized one chest at a time. Good Lord willing and the sun still shines, I'll see you again in the next video. Thank you kindly for watching and bless your heart.